Greetings and stalagmites, everyone. Today's vlog is entitled From Me to You for a reason. Today is going to be an introduction of sorts, since I realized after doing, I think it's about 5 or so videos, that I had not introduced myself, so you have no idea exactly who I am. As well as going over just what happened today and possibly some ideas for what I might be doing in the future. But I'll go ahead and start it out with the introduction. My name's Matt, and in case it wasn't blatantly obvious by looking at the channel title or anything like that, I'm 29 years old. Live in San Jose, California. Was born in Palo Alto, California. I've lived in the San Francisco Bay Area most of my life. I visited a few places across the country. Haven't quite gone international yet, but I hope that's going to change at some point. Some of my interests are photography. I'll be showcasing that at some point during this vlog. One of the many episodes I'll have, as well as singing, which will be hard to showcase considering it very likely I tend to like to sing along to, well, copyrighted content, so I can't exactly post that, but I'll have to try to think of some way of doing that. Other than that, there isn't a whole lot else to me. Yeah, that's really about it. If you want to know anything else, just leave something in the comments or whatnot. As to what I've done today, or what happened today, not too much. Lazy Sunday, and started playing. I woke up this morning and watched Game Grumps do a sort of, not a let's play, but a kind of a playthrough of Loadout, this new game, first-person shooter on PC that has that cartoony sort of feel that Team Fortress 2 does, but it's new. It's quite a bit different, actually. It's not Hat Fortress 2 like it is now for Team Fortress. But it's very cartoony, it's comedic, and you can kind of change or edit your loadout, so to speak, your weapons, and also edit not just what you have, but also what the weapons are. So this has this characteristic, this has this characteristic, this rocket launcher has this, and you can name the weapon or whatever as well. So it's pretty interesting. So far, it seems like it might be kind of broken. At first, I logged in to see it's got a different friend system than Steam does, which seems kind of counterintuitive because you buy it or play it through Steam, so why have two separate friends lists? I don't understand it. But on top of that, there's also the trying to log in and when you go to do matchmaking for the game. My first shot today was it sat there and sat there and sat there, and you just never loaded into a game. So I came back a few hours later and tried it, and it worked, and it's pretty fun. So kind of falls into an idea that I have for what I'm going to be doing in the future, because like many people, and seems to be popular as well, and besides I do like playing games and would like to play games more, I'll probably do some Let's Plays, either of Loadout or Team Fortress 2, or one I might really do, or I really want to do, is Dust and Elysian Tale, which was a wonderful game. It was one of the first games in recent history that I wanted to complete all the way to the end to find out what the story was like. The voice acting is superb. It's very comedic at times, but it also has a little bit of drama to it too. The story is really good. The art is wonderful, and the indie developer who had created it had spent years and years and years making it. And originally it was on Xbox, in the Xbox Arcade, but they ported it to PC, and one of the things that they had said about porting it was, and why it was so good, is because if you're going to port it over to another system, why not spend the time to make it actually playable? Like some games I can think of, one off the top of my head is one of the Assassin's Creed games where the PS3 or PS2 port to PC, the control scheme just got all screwed up, and from what I heard, it was awful to play because of that. So I have always kind of shied away from PC ports of games that were on consoles originally. Loadout, actually, when you start out the game, it has controls, and when you go through the control scheme, you see the keyboard key, but you also have the control or the console controller keys or buttons as well, which I'm kind of half and half on, because usually the mappings don't turn out quite right, but in Dust it's easy enough to play with a controller or not. You don't have to have a controller. It's probably easier to play. I've actually never played with a controller, but it's a lot of fun to play, and yeah, it's a great game, and haven't been an actual fan of a game, as I said, in recent history for other than Super Mario 3D World, which I also completed. Pardon me. This whole thing just gets me a little parched. And other than that, it's a great game, and it would be fun to do a Let's Play of and in experimenting with trying to do a video for Let's Plays, because this is kind of a convoluted setup, but it's easy enough once I actually get everything recorded, cut, edited, done. There's not much more work involved other than getting all the lighting set up and everything. The initial doing the recording of the video is what kind of takes the most work. The editing at this point has become pretty easy, but with Let's Plays, I need to figure out a way to do recording of games, and Fraps is the software I'll be using. And interestingly enough, I didn't think that any part of my computer was not going to be able to handle it, and go figure, the hard drives, I wish we would just advance the technology for solid-state drives quicker, because it's just so much faster. And I noticed that when I did some tests, and I would have the file dumped to my hard drive disks, my disk hard drives, versus the solid states. If I did them on the hard disks, it would be stuttery and jumpy, and the audio would be fine, but you would notice a definite pause. And also gameplay was, when I tried playing the game during that period, it was also slower. Whereas when I dumped them to the solid states, it was just like playing the game normally, and watching the video was just like playing the game. It was like watching the game. So that'll be something I'll be doing in the future. If you have any ideas for games as well, but I might do one of Hearthstone, something along those lines. Of kind of got a bunch of games at this point, but I'm not really sure what to play. I've done some streaming as well on Twitch. That was pretty entertaining. But other than that, that's pretty much all I really have for today. Tomorrow is Motivational Monday, so I'll have to think of something to talk about on tomorrow, which shouldn't be too hard. And then TMI Tuesday after that, so that's a fair warning to you viewers. In about 2 days, if you are squeamish in any way, shape, or form, I'm sure I will have something entertaining to talk about, and definitely into the category of too much information. Will not be graphic, though. So that's going to be about it for today. As usual, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments, or follow me on Twitter. I am Felisarius, F-E-L-E-S-A-E-R-I-U-S. And also check out my blog, so you can see what my writing was like before I started vlogging. That is blog.perbox.org. And that's going to do it for today. So until next time, good night and good luck.